Hi guys, thank you so much for joining us today. We have Naomi with Rainbow. I'm going to toss it over to her to introduce herself and kick off the webinar.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Kylie. I appreciate you. So my name's Naomi. Like Kylie said, Naomi Brown with Rainbow. I'm an agency sales rep here, and we're really excited to have everybody. So thanks for coming. Thanks for giving us some of your time today. I just wanted to kind of go over our portal a little bit. Our system and platform is so easy to use. So won't spend too much time probably on the data entry side, but focus on some appetite things, and then would like to kind of get through that so we can open it up for question and answer. So you guys can drop those questions in the chat, and Kylie's going to help me kind of monitor that as well. So just kind of a high level overview of who we are here at Rainbow. So we are what's considered an MGA. So we write with Accelerant National, which is an A- excellent rated carrier. Accelerant's been an incredible partner to us. We're really proud to be partnered with them, and they actually exclusively work with MGAs like ours. So the benefit for us is we get to operate as a carrier A to Z, but have that financial backing of a large carrier like Accelerant, with us being newer to the market. So as far as the agency and client side goes, you really don't have any interactions with Accelerant. You're dealing all with Rainbow, from quoting and service and underwriting and all the things. We also, again, have a dedicated rep for every agency here at Rainbow. So depending on the state you're in, it's either going to be myself or my counterpart, Justin, who's awesome. So we want to make sure here at Rainbow that while we're an insurtech, we don't believe that you can take human out of insurance, right? So we have an amazing product. Most of the underwriting is done through the portal. You can very quickly get a bindable quote, issue it yourself, all those good things. But then we also want to make sure that you can get a hold of a human when you need one, right? So we take a lot of pride in that here. Full service team, full underwriting team, full sales team here. So lots of support if you need anything from us. So looking at our agency dashboard here, this is what it's going to look like when you have some active policies with us. Navigating here to our quote screen, this is how you would start a new quote. Access any existing quotes. You can see here that there's a few different dispositions. So anything that is in draft means that it's not completed. There's some additional questions that need to be answered. Referred is obviously means that it's referred us up to us, our team. We're going to review it, get it back to you. We try to get our referrals back same day when we can. So here at Rainbow, one of our core values is we act quickly. We want to provide that high level service for you, the agent that's super busy. So we want to make sure that we get those referrals back really fast. So you'll see those come back pretty quickly. And if for some reason that you're not seeing any, that come back, you can always reach out to us and find out if we're waiting on any information for that. Here you can see that there's a bindable quote. So bindable means it's bindable, guys. That means you're good to go. You don't need to talk to anybody. You can actually navigate right into that quote and issue the policy. So over here, I like to point out our resources tab. This is something that I always recommend that you jump in and take a look at. So we have our appetite guide here. We have some fun things, like there's an SEO guide for restaurants that we created for our agency. So some things you can do and add to your website to promote some SEO based on restaurant insurance. We also have our form specimens page here. So if you scroll down, you can actually jump in. I always say to my fellow insurance nerds, you can read through those forms, do a word search, all the things, and just make sure that you're, educating your clients on what our forms do and do not cover. So those are all there at your convenience whenever you might need them. And then I do like to point up, we have this fun restaurant menu one-pager for our restaurant program. We also have one for our second program, and I'll talk about that as well. But we've really built Rainbow on our first program, which has been restaurants. So looking at this is a great way to kind of get a high-level overview of what we will do, what we can't do. Again, we have our appetite guide as well that's going to have more details and the nuances of all of that. But from fast food restaurants to a juice bar, to a bar and grill, fine dining, these are all things that we can look at here. So again, if it's a restaurant, if it's serving food, we want to look at it. If it's a bar and tavern, that puts us out. So if it's truly a bar, and the way that we delineate between that is, if they're closing down the kitchen and they're still open for service 2 hours after the kitchen closes, that's a big indicator. If they're serving alcohol between 12 and 5 a.m. And the kitchen is closed, different things like that. We are doing wine bars now. So if you have like a wine bar that's doing some charcuterie boards and things like that, that's something we can consider. And then for our multi-locations, so when we first launched, we were only able to support single location policies. We have now, have fully staffed underwriting team that's phenomenal that can quote those large accounts for you. One of the largest accounts we've worked on has about 300 locations. So I know that's pretty wild, but we really can work on those massive counts. We have some franchises that we already have on the books. Denny's, IHOPs, Carl's Jr.'s, some Whataburgers in Texas, things like that. So you can always reach out to us. If it's a franchise, like I know Chick-fil-A and McDonald's, they kind of have their franchise-specific programs that they're required to use, so we wouldn't be a fit for those. But if you're in that space, sure, those are things that you can reach out to us if you're ever curious. We're happy to help, and we can always look at something if you've got it. So don't ever hesitate to submit it to us, and we'll take a look at it. So again, this is kind of just a high level overview. Some of the things that we offer here is our liquor liability up to $1 million on our BOP. We can also endorse an additional $1 million on our excess liability that we write alongside our BOP. We can consider up to 65% in liquor sales here at Rainbow. So I always like to say, like, jazz hands, guys. I know it's exciting. It's definitely something that's really given us an edge in the market and given us the ability to really look at risks on a case-by-case basis, right? So there's a difference between a restaurant that's serving 17 $4 margaritas and a restaurant that's serving, a $60, $70 bottle of wine to the table. So we want to really take a look at that, underwrite those risks accordingly. If it's over 35%, it's going to be a referral to our underwriting team. They're just going to ask some questions, get some eyes on it, make sure that we can review that for you. But again, we can do up to the 65%. I think that really comes into play in some of those fine dining restaurants because they always have those higher alcohol sales, expensive cocktails, expensive wine, things like that. So keep us in mind for those. We're offering EPLI, cyber, HNOA. We can endorse all of these things on the BOP up to $1 million. And we can do, like I said, the additional $1 million in liquor liability and the HNOA in this example on the excess liability as well. So keep us in mind for those. Right now, our TIV is $5 million, including the building coverage, BPP, all the good things. So again, I think there's some other insurtechs out there that are offering a restaurant program, but I know there's some limitations on how much they can really cover for their TIV. So we really have quite a bit of room there for that. If you have a risk that's maybe on the borderline of that $5 million, please reach out to us. The system would decline you, but we might be able to reconsider it. Again, myself or my counterpart, Justin, just depending on the state that you're in, we're happy to help look at those types of things for you and make sure that we can maybe reconsider things like that. So one of the questions we get a lot is, what's your age of building restriction? And oddly enough, we don't have an actual age of building restriction. So I really love that we look at it like that. What we want to see is that things have been updated, right? So we want to see that plumbing and electrical has been updated within the last 25 years. We want to see that the roof's been updated in the last 20. Now, there might be some situations where you got a concrete tile roof that, is 22 years old, but it's still in great condition. I'm actually getting our roof replaced right now. We went from concrete tile to comp, and that concrete tile roof lasted forever, right? So sometimes we can make some exceptions on those. The system will decline it if you enter in that roof is over 20 years old. But all that to say, I just want you to know that you do have some internal support here. We have an amazing service team. We have a chat feature on the website. You can always chat in for quick questions like that. If you need a rush maybe on an account and you referred it and you're like, hey guys, I really need to get this back, you could, chat into the service team, say, hey, can you guys get a rush on this for me? Those are all things that we're happy to support and happy to help with. I think another one that comes up quite a bit, especially depending on where you're at, is we can consider protection classes 1 through 8. So 9 and 10s are a hard stop for us, but 1 through 8 are definitely ones that we can consider. And then again, we can do commercial and limited cooking. all of these coverages here, are going to be optional and included on this BOP. So, I mean, that's kind of a high level overview of our appetite for restaurants. Again, this is a resource for you that you could print out. You could take that to restaurant owners, if you're going to stop by, put your business card on it, use it as a resource. And going back here, like I mentioned, we launched a beauty and wellness program. This is live currently in Texas, Arizona, Illinois, and Michigan. So we're working on our filings for all of the other states. So stay tuned. You'll start seeing emails from us. And we'll be launching those other states as we get the approvals from the DOIs. But some of the classes that we'll be doing: salons, barbers, shops, nail salons, day spas, so non-medical, body piercing studios, no tattoo, that one comes up a lot, health and fitness studio. So we wouldn't be a fit for like a 24-hour fitness, like a full gym, but for fitness studios that are instructor led, like bar classes, like ballet, yoga, Pilates, things like that. Fitness, like instructor led, and Orange Theory is something that we might be able to consider. So kind of along those lines. So stay tuned for that. If anybody's listening and you're in one of those states that we're live in, please feel free to reach out to me after this. I'd be happy to answer any more, in-depth questions on this program. We're very excited to launch our second program here. Here at Rainbow, we will continue to be program specialists. So, we want to be really good at what we're doing, right? We want to be the best in each of the classes that we roll out. So the exciting thing is you can look forward to more programs rolling out from us. We want to continue to expand our ability to grow with our agencies, outside of just the restaurant program and now the beauty and wellness. So lots of exciting things to come for us. And again, we only work through our agency partners, so we don't do any direct to insured. That's something that I really love. My background is all agencies, so I love that we really protect that relationship. You never have to worry about a client coming directly to us, getting a quote online, and instead of it being bound through your agency, all of that. So we rely and value our agency partnerships. You are our sales force, and we want to continue to really nurture that relationship. So I just want to make sure everybody knows that you've got us here as support. If you ever have some quotes in the system and maybe they're not quite competitive, not on target where you need, that's where you can reach out to us. We do have some flexibility that we're happy to provide if we can, but we just want to make sure that y'all know that you've got resources here. So I would say we function a little differently than maybe some of the other insured techs in the space, because we really do want to operate, and we would rather kind of compete with some of the more legacy carrier styles. Like I said, we've got dedicated sales reps here. We want to make sure you guys have all the support that you need to be successful with Rainbow. So with all of that, that's kind of my overview today. Again, we do a weekly webinar where we jump more into the portal, more into, the nitty gritty and the application questions and all of that good stuff. Our application probably takes 10 minutes to get through, you guys. It's super simple. It'll decline you early on if it's a risk that we just can't entertain. So we have it designed that way to hopefully not have you spinning your wheels with us. So that weekly webinar is every Thursday at 12 o'clock PST. So you can always join us for that if you're looking for kind of in-depth training on the portal. But again, just know that we're here to support you guys if you need anything. So with that, I'd love to open it up for some Q&A from everybody.
First off, I'd like to say thank you, Naomi, for all of your insights. And I do not see any questions in the chat. No, I don't see any questions in the chat. Just had to double check. But that being said, I'm going to take back control of the screen real quick. Awesome. And guys, I'm just going to show you real quick where to find Rainbow within our agent portal. So we will go to infounderwriting.com and click our agent portal, where you will log in, and you'll see that Rainbow is right smack in the middle here. And don't forget that you'll have to complete the login registration to get your credentials beforehand. Once you get those, come into our portal, click on Rainbow, you'll be good to go. And as Naomi mentioned, if you guys have any additional questions, feel free to reach out. She is wonderful and has answers, so I'm sure she's happy to hear from you guys. And again, Naomi, I want to thank you for your time today. I greatly appreciate it. I know that we do. We all appreciate it as well. So thank you.
Aw, awesome. Well, we appreciate you guys. Again, we're happy to be partnered with you. And again, if I don't know the answer, I know somebody who does, you guys. So again, just reach out.
Absolutely.
Don't ever hesitate to reach out to myself or anybody on our team. We're here to support and we're excited to grow with you guys.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much. I appreciate it.
Have a great day.